Since we are already done discussing the skeletal system, we will now proceed with our last discussion, which is about the muscular system. Siyempre, before we begin discussing the whole muscular system, let us define first kung ano nga ba yung muscular system. Muscular system is actually kapartner to ng skeletal system. That's why whenever you discuss skeletal system, palagi mong kasunod ang muscular system. Muscular system is our system wherein dito nangyayari yung result of shortening and lengthening yung mga muscles natin. We know that our body is composed of a lot of muscles, and without those muscles, we will not be able to contract and extend our own body parts. Here are the functions of the muscular system. Number one, it enables us to move our body parts. Without muscles, we cannot move. Kasi kahit na may bones tayo, may joints, kung walang muscle, walang laman, hindi rin po tayo makakagalaw. Number two, it gives us our individual shape. We know that different people have their own body shapes. So, depende sa amount ng muscle sa katawan, amount ng fat, doon nagiging different yung ating mga shapes. Number three, it protect and keep in place our abdominal organs. We have a lot of internal organs, so kailangan merong nagki-keep in place sa mga ito. So if you are asking, paano nga ba naiiwan sa isang pwesto, hindi nagbabalik-baliktad, si muscular system yung isa sa mga reasons kung bakit hindi sila nadi-displace or nami-misplace. Four, it enables us to maintain a good posture. Because without muscles, kung joints and bones lang yung meron tayo, mukha tayong parang tusok-tusok na model ng figurine or clay, di ba? So we need our muscles. Five, it help in the circulation of our blood. And number six, it generate body heat when they contract. That's why when you exercise, ang initial reaction ng katawan mo is pagpawisan or banasin. Kasi whenever you exercise, your muscles contracts. So those are the functions of the muscular system. Muscle is the tissue that allows us to have movements, to be able to move, like what I said a while ago. But there are three muscle types, and namely, sila yung smooth muscle, cardiac muscle, and skeletal muscles. So let's talk about it on the next slides. First, we have the smooth muscle. Smooth or involuntary muscles work automatically. From the word itself, involuntary. So, hindi mo siya kailangang utusan, hindi mo kailangang i-program, hindi mo kailangang i-initiate. So, they are not under our conscious control and they work mostly sa ating mga internal organs like our stomach, our gut, our bladder. So, they function without us telling kung ano ba yung dapat nilang gawin. So halimbawa sa stomach, nagda-digest siya ng food, 'di ba? Si bladder natin yung ating urine. So yun yung mga example ng ating smooth muscle. Next, we have the cardiac muscles. From the word cardiac, si cardiac kasi means heart. So our heart is a very special type of an involuntary muscle. We know that the heart is the center of our own body system, and without the heart pumping blood to our own body, hindi po tayo mabubuhay. So this muscle, special muscle, is under the cardiac muscle. So ito po ay continuously, without tiring, works automatically without um, telling na, ay, tumibok ka ngayon, ay, bukas hindi. So, wala po tayong control doon. And number three, lastly, we have the skeletal muscles. Actually, si skeletal and si muscular, since magkakambal nga sila, usually, may tinatawag tayong musculoskeletal system. Silang dalawa yun combined. So, skeletal muscles or voluntary muscles work as we instruct them. So, yun po yung difference ni skeletal doon sa dalawang nauna kanina. Tayo yung magkocontrol, tayo yung magde-decide kung ano yung gagawin natin, like walking, di ba? Like running, jumping, and any other control or command that we would like our body to do are all under skeletal muscles. So those three are the muscle types. Ngayon naman po, pag-usapan na po natin ang main parts of the muscle or the muscular system. Actually, nagva-vary siya sa iba't ibang resources. Meron kasing iba na 11 ng muscle groups, may 12. But dito, I'll be mentioning some of the most common. Though meron pang iba na hindi nasama dito. Ito yung main na kilala at usually ay familiar ang mga tao. Starting off with our deltoid or ating deltoids. Si deltoid, pinakakilala po siya sa ating shoulder. So kung hawakan niyo po yung shoulder niyo po ngayon, meron po diyang matigas na muscle. It's called the deltoids. So anong common movement na ginagawa using the deltoid? We can move our arm out and away from our body. Parang kapag nagbo-bowling ka, sa cricket or may ibabato ka or may kailangan kang ihagis. So deltoid usually yung nag-work doon. Without us knowing, deltoid yung pinagkukuhanan niya ng puwersa. Second, we have the triceps. Triceps and biceps, laging napagpapalit yung dalawang yan. So si tricep po, remember, tricep is at the back of arm. So yun po yung other term niya. Tricep are responsible for extending the elbow, the arms, and the shoulder. Best example po nan is a badminton smash. So yung pwersa ng smash, sa tricep po yan nanggagaling. Number three, we have our hamstrings or our hams. Hamstrings are responsible for flexing the knee and extending the hip joint. Example po nito is drawing the leg back before kicking the ball. Halimbawa, kung magpo-football ka, magpo-futsal ka, since leg work siya, kailangan mo ng pwersa when kicking the ball. And it's coming from the hamstrings. That's why, minsan di ba may mga mabibigat or makakapal yung sa may upper leg near the butt. So that is the hamstrings. Number four, we have the trapezius. Trapezius helps to control the shoulder girdle. So yung trapezius po natin or the traps, commonly po, tinatawag po siyang back muscles. So these muscles helps us to move freely in terms of our, siguro yung mga heads natin or at least the upper body na meron tayo. Kaya nga minsan, di ba, kapag malakas ang trapezius mo, mas madali kang makakapag pull-ups and other exercise. So an example is a player holding his head up in a rugby scrum. So yung bebuelo ka nang makikipag-agawan ka ng bola sa rugby, that is controlled by the trapezius. Number five, we have the latissimus dorsi. Si latissimus dorsi is located right under our trapezius. Si latissimus dorsi ang responsible para naman sa shoulder adduction. Mamaya po malalaman nyo kung ano yung adduction na term. I'll be defining common terms in exercise, in physical activity, na minsan nako-confuse tayo kung ano ba yung ibig niyang sabihin. So mamaya po magbigay ko an example. So latissimus dorsi, best example is sa swimming po, yung butterfly stroke. Sa swimming kasi marami po tayong iba't ibang ginagamit na stroke and isa po doon si butterfly. Number six, we have the gluteals or our butt or yung gluteus maximus natin. Isa sa mga trivia that I can share is that gluteals is among, actually not among, but the largest muscle group in our own body. So the gluteus maximus is responsible for our hip extension. This is also where the strength of the lower body sometimes comes from. So when you step, kapag sa rock climbing, kaya po kapag nag-workout kayo ng butt workout, di ba nararamdaman yung sumasakit siya? Minsan parang feeling nyo tumitigas yung butt nyo when you work out. So that's the gluteals. Next, we have the bicep, ang kalituhan ni tricep. Si bicep po, yan ang pahilig i-flex ng mga tao kasi yan lang ata yung alam na muscles ng iba. So biceps are responsible for flexing the elbow and the forearm. So hindi lang po siya sa atin pong elbow, hindi lang po pag nagyayabang kayo ng muscles, but also for our forearm. So the best example of sport using bicep is archery. So kapag kahihigitin mo yung bow, tapos i-release mo, so bicep po ang ginagamit doon. Next, we have the abdominals or the core muscle. if may isa man akong gustong-gustong ma-workout at gustong palakasin, it will always be the abdominals. Why? Because when your abdominals or abdominal muscle is strong, sometimes other exercise will be easier for you. At the same time, you can carry yourself lighter. No, pwede kang makapag exercise ng calisthenics, gymnastics, yan. Ang abdominals naman kasi, lahat naman po tayo, meron talagang abdominals. The problem is, like what I said a while ago, iba't iba nga tayo ng muscles at the same time ng fat content sa katawan. So our abdominals rotate and raise the trunk, and it strengthens the abdominal wall which helps us when breathing. So example, upward circles on the bar in gymnastics, any core exercise. Good example po yan. Next, we have the pectorals or our chest. Our pectoral is responsible for the adduction of the shoulder used from deep breathing. Kaya po when you breathe, di ba nag-expand po yung ating chest. So, example is playing a forehand drive in tennis. Next, balik tayo sa legs. We have the quadriceps. Siya po yung nasa harapan ng hamstring. Quadriceps are responsible for extending the knee and flexing the knee joints. So kapag halimbawa, sa standing long jump, di ba, nabuelo ka, so yung pag-i-extend at pag-flex mo ng knees, sa quadriceps po siya nanggagaling. And last, we have the gastrocnemius. Si gastrocnemius, ito yung malalaki sa mga bikers. Alam niyo yung mga nagre-rides, tsaka kapag mahilig kang maglakad, manakbo, magmarathon, si gastrocnemius yung pinakang madaling lumaki. So gastrocnemius is responsible for plantar flexion of the ankle. So mamaya po ipapakita ko po sa inyo kung ano po yung plantar flexion. So to review, the following are the major muscle groups in our body. We have the trapezius, the deltoids, the pectoral group. Pectoral group kasi meron tayong pectoralis major, pectoralis minor. We have the biceps, abdominal muscles, forearms, quadriceps, and gastrocnemius. So may mga na-mention ako kanina like the gluteals, like the tricep, latissimus dorsi. Yan. Kung makikita nyo po, harap at likod yung diagram. The reason is, some muscles are not in front of our body. So nasa likod po siya. Kaya dun sa mga pumili ng drawing as their task, you cannot draw the muscle groups ng usually nakaharap lang kasi may mga muscle groups na hindi po kayo maipapakita. So again, those are the muscle groups in our body. Now, let us proceed with the types of muscle contraction that we can do whenever we are performing activities. Actually, may tatlo lang naman po. We have the isotonic. We have isotonic or the concentric contraction. Sorry, bali-baliktad lang siya. So at the middle, you can see concentric contraction or isotonic contraction. So the muscle shortens as tension is developed, as when a dumbbell is raised in a bicep curl. Bicep curl is when you lift a dumbbell from a position na naka-rest, tapos iaangat mo, ibababa mo, and then repeat the process. So it's an example of a concentric contraction. Kumbaga, you are focusing the force or the tension sa mismong bicep, tapos iaangat mo siya. So it's called concentric. Ibig sabihin, you're concentrating a force or a tension on a certain body part, which in this case is the bicep. Actually, lahat naman sila bicep. Next, we have the isometric contraction, or also called as static contraction. Isometric contraction is when the muscle develops tension with no change in overall muscle length, as when holding a dumbbell or in a stationary bicep curl. Si bicep curl and si stationary, magkaiba silang dalawa. Pag stationary, you're holding the dumbbell. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka gumagalaw. So, more on endurance siya. Kapag ka naman kina-curl mo, strength ang involved. That's why sabi dito, di ba, you are extending and shortening the muscle. So, yun yung sa concentric. Again, sa isometric, no change. So, naka-stationary lang. And lastly, we have the eccentric contraction. Eccentric contraction is when the muscle develops tension while it lengthens. Kapag naman ibinaba mo ng sobra yung bicep curl. So, kanina sa concentric, iaangat mo. Si eccentric, ibababa mo. Si isometric, hindi mo igagalaw. Yan. So, yun lang po yung main difference nilang tatlo. So, remember that both concentric and eccentric contractions can theoretically be at constant tension. Yung tinatawag natin isotonic and isokinetic. However, most contractions normally involve neither constant tension nor speed. As we already know some of the information of the muscular system, I'm sure you're curious what happens to our muscle system as we exercise. So, ito po yung mga facts that you can store in your mind kung ano nga bang meron sa muscular system when we exercise. Number one, there is an increased flow of blood to the working muscles. So for instance, nag-workout ka ng biceps. Kapag nag-workout ka doon, di ba, after several sets, marirealize mo na parang mas nararamdaman mo yung biceps mo. That is because yung blood flow dun sa certain area na ina-exercise mo, since it's a working muscle, mas nag increase. So yun po yung number one. Number two, muscles take up more of the oxygen from the blood. That's why tayo po ay hinihingal when we exercise. Three, the muscles contract more often and more quickly. Four, more of the muscle fibers contract. And number five, there is a rise in temperature in the muscles. Di ba po, halimbawa sa friction, kapag ka mas nagagamit, mas nararab yung isang gamit, di ba umiinit po siya? So the same goes with our muscles. Since continuously nyo po siyang ginagamit, nagra-rise din po yung temperature niya. Number six, our stores of adenosine triphosphate or ATP and creatine phosphate or CP in the muscles are used up. Waste products such as carbon dioxide and lactic acid build up in the muscles. Eight, these waste products may lead to tiredness and cramp. Kaya po kapag nasa gym kayo or nag-workout or nag-physical activity, di ba, mas may mga makikita kayong nagamit ng Gatorade, Powerade, or any drink rich in electrolytes. Kasi po, since napapagod ka nga at ginagamit mo yung muscles mo, mas nagiging prone ka sa muscle fatigue and sa cramps. Number nine, our stores of muscle glucose are used up. Since we are exercising, we are moving, so yung sugar natin sa katawan, yung energy natin is nasusunog or nauubos. And lastly, overuse of muscles can lead to soreness and strains. That's why without proper warm-up, without proper form, without proper exercise, after mong mag-workout, pag uwi mo, feeling mo pagod na pagod ka, at kinabukasan, for sure, sasakit po yan ng sobra. So those are some of the facts that happens in our muscular system as we exercise. Next, let's talk about the last part, which is the roles of our muscles. Our muscle can only contract or relax, and under normal conditions, contraction results only from a series of nerve impulses. Our muscle may contract fully or partially with maximum force or less. Our muscle may contract isometrically or isotonically, singly in rare instances or as a member of a group. Because muscles can contract in these different ways, we have the ability to act on different roles and to change quickly from one role to another. So I'll be sharing with you 4 roles to avoid those that I mentioned a while ago. So when do we say that a muscle's movement is antagonist? A muscle is antagonistic to a movement when it must relax to allow the movement to occur. Antagonist muscles cause actions opposite those caused by the agonist muscles. For instance, in performing triceps extension exercise, ang antagonist muscle po natin is the bicep. So, di ba sa mga teleserye, drama, movie, we have the antagonist and the protagonist. So, si antagonist, siya yung against, no, sa ating katawan. So, ito yung, kumbaga ay kalabanan or kahigitan. So, si antagonist muscle or antagonistic muscle, again, yung kailangan niya munang ma-relax para makapag-exercise ka ng certain part na yan. Like dito nga, ang naging atin pong antagonist doon sa exercise ng tricep is the bicep. Bakit? Kasi halos magkatapatan po sila. Second, we have the agonist. A muscle is a mover or an agonist when its concentric concentration contributes to the desired movement of a segment of the body. Example naman po nito is when you flex your elbow, so yung inyo pong bicep brachia, yung nagiging mover or nag-help na mas makagalaw yung atin pong biceps. Number three, we have the stabilizer. Stabilizer, in order for a segment of the body to move, the body part on which the segment moves must possess the right amount of stability. For instance, when the arm moves at the shoulder joint, the shoulder girdle must be held firm by the contraction of certain muscles which are attached to it. So, tulad ng sa tripod, di ba, meron tayong mga stabilizer para yung movement na dinedesire nating magawa is mas magawa po natin. So, kailangan natin na stabilized. At ang nagiging stabilizer nga po doon are the muscles considered na atin pong stabilizer. And the last one is the neutralizer. A muscle plays the role of neutralizer when it equalizes or nullifies one or more actions to another muscle. To neutralize each other, two muscles must cause opposite movements. So those are the four ways of avoiding or at least having a correct approach in using your muscles. And that is about the muscular system. Thank you for watching.